Hello, today we're taking a look at Retro Pixel Castle once again. Yep, we did taking a look on this quite a ways back. You'd have to have been around for quite a while to have seen that one, or have just, gone back and looked at older video. That's always a possibility, the older videos thing. But we're checking it out again because since we did it last time, it has changed quite a bit, and my opinion on it has also changed quite a bit. So basically what we've got here is the basic setup for a town. We've got a nice little village center, some tents for people to live in, some farms to make food if farmers ever start to get on the... Oh, I see. There we go. Okay. We had way too many people assigned to building, so no one was going to be a farmer. Anyway, we have farms and all the basic things that we need to start a nice little castle. But you'd ask, why do we need a castle? What the heck is going on? Well, out in the terrible wastes, come the beginning of tomorrow in-game, there will be terrible undead creatures coming to kill us, and it is our job to prevent those undead creatures from killing us. To do so, we need to build a nice castle. So, what do we need? First and foremost, we need to get ourselves a nice little golem combobulator right up here. The builders of our nice little town, like Mr. Richard Montana and Miss Kate Mara, and the other, 23 builders we have, are all gonna go build that. And basically, this is defenses numero uno. We have to defend ourselves from the terrible... There's gonna be skeletons and zombies, and they're gonna come and try to eat our flesh. And of course, I don't know if you've ever been a villager in a village like this. I would highly doubt that that's a thing, because, I don't think there are very many villages like this. But generally, the villagers don't like being, eaten. It's not the ideal situation. So we have to defend ourselves. And to do so, we will build a million little wood fighting golems. It'll be great. Okay. In addition to that, which will be defensive number one, we need to create a choke point, because Retro Pixel Castle, while being a bit of a village management simulator, is also pretty much a tower defense game, which is pretty awesome. I'm gonna level with you. So we're gonna close off a few entry points, and then we can get to the meat of our nice little village. So basically, this is our village for now, but we can continue building all sorts of different buildings. As you can see here, we have manufacturing buildings, refinery buildings, harvesting buildings, and they're all going to be necessary for building a large and prosperous town, at least we all hope. For all we know, our village could be eaten by a zombie in 5 minutes flat. In saying that, it's not even day 2 yet. Day 1 is our nice little grace period where no one tries to kill us. But after that point, everyone pretty much tries to kill us, and that's how life goes. It's unfortunate. I don't like being attacked constantly, but gotta live with it. Okay, look at this. We've got a little stone circle. Technically it's a wood circle, but I'm gonna call it a stone circle because that's better. And this thing makes little wooden golems, but it's not gonna work on its own. Of course not. It can't work on its own. It needs magical power, which is a thing. So we need to find some magical power, which is stored up in these crystals. We have a few over here, but we're gonna use these ones because what we're going to do is use our amazing god powers, as is listed up here, with a wide range of abilities like shooting fire from the sky, bada boom, to dissolving crystals, to recalling villagers, all sorts of crazy things. But what we need to do is use a nice little spell called Dissolve, and dissolve a few of these crystals into their magical essence. And our nice golem combobulator will pick up all of that essence, turn that essence and some wood into a bunch of nice golems that will defend our town. Golems like Greg and Bartholomew and hopefully Matilda, but I can't say for certain whether or not Bartholomew and Matilda will be involved. All I can say is that there will be golems. Okay, so just to give you a little introduction to the basic system, our main thing is we need to harvest resources to build buildings and things. And our basic resources are stone, wood, crystals, and food. Although you don't really build anything with food, you just make sure that your people don't starve to death with food, which is arguably kind of important. And we can assign work for people to harvest up wood and stone, and we have to make them build buildings in order to, of course, increase production and thereby increase our defenses so that hopefully we don't get killed by things. Still no promises on that one. So the first thing we're going to want to do, now that since we've got a nice little homestead, everyone's living in a nice little tent. I mean, I don't know if you can call tents nice, but, you know, it's what they have to go with. We have farms for people to eat, a village center to make builders. We have to begin our first construction, which is going to be this thing called a lumber shack. Basically, with a lumber shack, we can make lumberjacks whose exclusive job in the world, their sole purpose in life, just in general, is to go out and cut down trees and basically destroy the entire environment, which is going to be unfortunate on one hand because I do enjoy the environment, but I mean, the environment is a small price to pay for not dying. Oh my word, look! The golems, they're here. Look at them, they're adorable little creatures. That's Bartholomew. That's Herbert. Bartholomew and Herbert will be protecting our village. I will admit, Bartholomew and Herbert won't do a very good job at it because they are two individual wood golems, and wood golems are fairly weak. We do have a higher level called stone golems, but, you know, we just have to get basic defenses up. Come on, we can't have stone golems like Leonidas until we have at least a few wood golems to do their thing. So this thing's going to make as many as 6 of these golems, and with any hope we can use those golems to, you know, kill skeletons and zombies and things. I love killing skeletons and zombies. It's always the best. We just need enough actual, like, magical power to continue to create more of these golems. So how are we doing on our construction? We're building a nice little lumber shack. Once we get that lumber shack up, these lumberjacks will just start tearing down all of these trees, so we'll have just a ton of resources just sitting around that our peeps can use to build things real quickly, like bow towers, which we will need at some point, but, you know, we're still not being attacked quite yet. Oh no, it's day 2, and as I have said and foretold, the monsters are here to kill us. We'll go find a monster in like a second, because I'm pretty sure they're just starting to spawn now. But we've got our nice little lumberjack house up, the lumber shack. And we're just going to assign like 3 dudes to be lumberjacks and do their thing, because I feel like no civilization is like completely finished until they have lumberjacks of some sort. They're kind of like a necessity of civilized countries. So let's actually go find some of these dudes. They just spawn anywhere that isn't in your village. Ah, here we go. Here's one of them. We got a skeleton. Look at that guy. Terrible. And there's a wide variety of things like headless zombies, zombies with heads, ghosts, all sorts of things that are going to try to come and kill us. So far, the majority of this stuff that we've been looking at has been in the game since I looked at it last time. Last time it was actually there, except for the golems. The golems weren't there. We had to assign actual villagers to defend our stuff. Oh my word. Who are you, Bartholomew? Bartholomew! He's getting it on with a terrible slime. And not in a weird way, in like he's going to battle. Oh my word. That would appear to be a level 3 slime with 59 strength going up against a level 2 Vladimir wood golem with 56 strength. Oh my goodness. They're gonna kill him dead. Don't worry about it. They're fine. But this game has evolved a lot since the last time we took a look, and the developers have definitely been very good about continually updating this game with good and legit updates. I love it so much. Now that we have wood, we can actually begin producing basic defenses. What we need are some towers that are going to shoot the vicious things and assist our golems in slaying evil. So we need to build what is called a bowyer. And the bowyer is going to be a building devoted to creating arrows for a particular little tower called a bow tower. And it's going to be our basic defensive structure, at least for now, with any hope. Bada boom, turn them into basic essence. Oh man, hustling and bustling towns. I swear, as these get bigger, you can have like hundreds of villagers. I mean, I've never actually gotten to the point of having hundreds of villagers, mostly because that takes so long. But at that point, there's just so many people going everywhere. It's crazy. It's absurd. This game has become very, very fun. It's actually possible to survive, unlike last time we checked it out, where it was pretty much impossible to survive past day 7. Now you can actually, so long as you keep up with the defenses, work things out. So our town is working well for now. It happens to be the season of spring, and in spring, the crops are abundant. We can get hundreds of thousands of delicious crops directly into our nice little mouths. But come the change of season, things will go quite downhill, as we will not be able to bring in as many crops. So we have to make sure that we harvest up as much as we can from our nice little farms. Basically, to fuel our farms, we have to get like wild vegetables, and we plant them in our farms, and they create an infinite amount of food over, of course, a certain amount of time. Oh, the bowyer's done. Nice. So we need to get some people in here. Basically, the work tab works that we have like global necessities of people. So here we need 17 builders out of 32 possible builders. So if we just cut down a couple of those, turn up a couple Fletchers who work in the bowyer to make the nice little bundles of arrows, we should be able to begin to actually create arrows, which will run our currently non-existent bow towers. I will admit it is a small problem that they are currently non-existent, but we can deal with that. We'll just put a couple down here to start out the defenses, and they'll start sniping a ton of like terrible antediluvian threats. Actually, thinking about it, pretty much nothing in this game is an antediluvian threat. Usually it has to be of some terrible make in order to be antediluvian, and I mean, I'm not seeing it here. It's just a bunch of zombies. Can we see a zombie? Oh, check it out. They built something. It's a graveyard spawn. It's the basic building of the enemy, and yes, the enemy does in fact build buildings. These guys create these graveyard spawns, which spawn even more vicious minions, and the more of these that there are, the more terrible creatures are going to come and attack us come nighttime. I mean, you would think that we should send out the golems to go deal with that, but first off, the golems would totally get just torn limb from limb, because that's really not a good situation for the poor golems to be in. And at the same time, I mean, that's not really a thing that we can do yet. This game is still in early access, so they're still adding a ton of stuff to it. The last update brought in all sorts of crazy stuff, like the armorsmith, toolsmith, forge, and the entire system of villagers having items was completely added by the last update, which was a great update, by the way. So good. I can't say enough about how legit the devs have been so far. Well, night is here, and that's, I think we'll be fine. We'll be okay. We have some god powers that we can use to protect the village if things go downhill. But, I mean, we've got our nice little 6 golems that are going to defend us. If we can get one of these bow towers up before things really kick off. I mean, it's like pitch black out there, so I can't really see what's going on. It's actually really hard to tell. I mean, it kind of looks like there's nothing there yet. But if we can get this bow tower up before things really start going off, then there is a chance that we'll be able to get through this night without having to use any of our nice god powers. And these, by the way, are run by this bar, which is pretty much, I guess you could call it faith or something. The more happy our villagers are, the more of that stuff that they generate, and the more god powers that we can use, which is always good stuff. Okay, the bow tower is up and running. Fletchers! Fletchers, you! Henry Quellar? Quellar? What kind of name is that? Anyway, Henry Quellar, you are a Fletcher. Please bring some arrows out to the bow tower so it can begin shooting things when things do in fact arrive. I mean, I'm surprised that nothing's arrived yet. That is quite impressive. Henry Quellar has decided not to do that. Can we find the other Fletcher out here? I don't know if we can find him. Every villager that has a different profession has a different colored shirt. Oh, no. Oh, it's kicked off. Looks like the wood golems are going at it with this zombie. Oh, the zombie does also appear to be wearing an iron chest plate, which is not really going to help out. I mean, as a bonus, once we kill it, our own villagers will be able to wear said iron chest plate, which is kind of concerning because I don't know why anyone would think to, like, rip a chest plate off of a zombie and then just wear it. I mean, it's gonna smell. It's gonna have little bits of just, like, rotting material. It's not, I wouldn't like it very much. I don't think that would be an ideal situation. In the very least, our bow tower is up and running and trying really hard to ruin these terrible creatures' days. I mean, these bow towers do a significant amount of damage, and with these guys up and running and these golems holding back the horde, we should be okay for now. The night of day 2 appears to be one of great prosperity for the village. Or at least, I mean, not one of complete death and destruction. I can't actually speak much to how prosperous it's been. I don't think we've gotten anything except for maybe one zombie flesh iron chest plate that was dropped by this guy. I don't know who picked that up. Did any of you guys pick that up? Who got that? Was it a Fletcher? It wasn't a Fletcher. Oh, it was you. Richard Montana, the farmer, has decided that he should hold the iron chest plate in his possession. I don't think that there was a big scramble to get the iron chest plate. I'm going to level with you. It was covered in filth and decaying flesh. So I think, unfortunately, Mr. Montana is going to be ostracized from the town just based on that. Kate is currently talking to Richard about the whole situation of, you know, you're wearing a disgusting, putrid zombie chest plate. If you could possibly just leave town and, you know, find a new place to live, that'd be great. Of course, that's going to be really hard for Montana, because if you haven't noticed, we're the only thing around. There's a bunch of void outside of the map, so, I mean, I'm not certain where poor Montana would go, but he can't stay here, because once you've decided to wear zombie chest plates, it's over. It's done. You've lost all your citizenship privileges in the village. We should get something from manufacturing, or potentially something with aid, because we can build clinics that'll build, like, healing items for the villagers, but that's not really necessary. They don't really go to battle. But if we can get a kitchen up, which will turn our food into rations, which basically are types of food that are better at, like, healing people's hunger, that'd be nice, although we don't actually have all the resources we need for it. That's unfortunate, because although there are the basic resources of wood and stone, we can upgrade those using refining into cut stone, planks, and all sorts of stuff that all go into creating all of the different types of buildings that we could possibly need. It's amazing. So I guess we'll put a stone cuttery there. I mean, usually I get a actual, like, mining facility to get people like lumberjacks, except for mining, which are otherwise known as miners, strangely enough, and they would be completely devoted their entire life to cutting down stone, but I mean, I guess a stone cuttery will do for now. And with that stone cuttery, we can get that nice cut stone resource that we so dearly need in order to build a kitchen. This game, last time we checked it out, it had not much more than lumber shacks and stone cutteries and stuff like that. Now it's built into a fully fledged, actually, you know, interesting experience. And I will tell you, I strongly recommend this to anyone who is interested in it at this point. It is definitely in a very playable state, and it's only going to get better as the devs continue to develop it, which they are definitely going to continue to do that. They have been very reliable as of yet. But for now, we must end this video and the great town that we have built here with Montana, unfortunately, because I guess they didn't ostracize him. Yeah, he's still there. I guess his ability to grow crops outweighed the fact that he's wearing a zombie chest plate, and they decided that, you know, okay, Montana, you can continue to live in our village, just, you know, keep the chest plate well away from the children. That's kind of how it works. But anyway, thanks for watching, and of course, as always, enjoy the rest of your day.